What's good, people? We're back with another episode of the Four Quarter Talk podcast. I'm Josh Masoki, and this is a special episode. We're talking about we're talking about free agency, and a lot has happened. So, of course, we had to bring in a special guest. Introduce yourself.
Yes, sir. It's Jack. I'm back. It's been too long. I do almost feel like a special guest on the podcast, but yeah, it's been a crazy few weeks for me.
Load managing, man.
Exactly, load managing. Only the best do it. So but we're back on the floor now. Back to talk about some basketball. I missed it, if I'm being honest. I've got a bit of FOMO watching you and Matas do the podcast, just you two. So glad to be back.
I can't hold down a partner. I got to be rotating now. So clearly this can't run without me, because like can't even keep two of them at the same time. But
You're just the most unemployed. No, I'm joking. I'm sorry, bro. That was a low blow.
Listen, stop saying this. Do I need to pull up? Let me pull up my bank account real quick. Nah, man. I don't want
skip Bayless, man. Skip Bayless.
I don't want to gov you looking at this, man.
Yeah, trust me.
Nah, I don't. Yeah, I'm unemployed. I don't want to pay tax. I don't want to pay tax out here. But yeah, man. This episode had to happen, man. A lot has happened in the last 48 hours.
Yeah. We're cramming this one in a little bit, but it had to be done.
So let's kick it off with the biggest news, man.
Ooh. That's controversial.
Yeah, man. The door extension. So
when I saw he rejected his option, I thought.
No. It was the team.
Oh, the team rejected his option. I thought for a second.
It was literally just to.
We could use a 3-and-D wing. But hey, he's a Thunder legend at this point. You don't have many of them, so his jersey will probably be up there one day. So he's on that trajectory anyway.
I mean, if you need a 3-and-D wing, why didn't you just re-sign Saransky?
I mean, he's a point guard, but casual. No, we traded him for Lonzo Ball anyway. For the great and good, man.
Who's that?
Saransky.
He's Lonzo Ball. Did he play this year?
Hey, man, he can take. I've said this from the start. He can take my knee if he needs it, man.
We don't even have time for this.
All I do is sit at my desk. You can have my knee, bro.
Yeah, all right. Rudy Gobert, he's a Timberwolf.
Rudy.
When I saw this, so Woj tweeted it out. He just tweeted out the single sentence that he'd been traded to Timberwolves.
He was trying to get that tweet in before Shams.
Yeah. No, Woj has been getting bodied. But
he needed
really for the last year or two.
To be fair, this one isn't even his exclusive. This is Brian Windhorst.
Oh yeah, right, bro.
My man.
Brian Windhorst, he's on a legendary, this is a breakout season right now, man. Yeah. He's on a legendary run right now, and he's got the theatrics to go with it as well. He's holding the room right now.
He's a showman.
But yeah, it's been lunch. As Sham says, time for lunch. He's been eating. Yeah, he's been eating. But yeah, so he treated a single sentence, and he just had us all on edge. What is the trade here? Is Cat on the move? Is what's going on? And about 5 minutes later, the whole deal was revealed. And
interesting.
What? 5 picks for Rudy.
5 first-round picks.
And was that including, or is that also because they traded the player they drafted?
Kessler. Yeah, I think that's including Kessler. So four actual picks, and then they got Walker Kessler. 3 of them unprotected first, 1 top 5 protected in 2029.
What? For Gobert. When Gobert signed his contract, I was thinking at that time, I mean, no one's ever believed in the Jazz. So even when he signed the contract, I was like, damn, that's gonna be hard to move when it's time to split them.
Yeah, we've been saying that for a while. And the thing is with Gobert, the argument has long been, yes, he's the best at what he does, but you could get such better value. There's a lot of people that can do similar things, obviously not to his level, but for a lot cheaper. So there was a lot of talk about Miles Turner. There's a lot of talk about Mitchell Robinson.
I mean, what the Pacers are trying to give away, they're just giving people away.
They're having a car boot sale right now. But
like
the
what?
Jazz decided to trade. I mean, sorry, the Timberwolves decided to trade half their franchise for Rudy Gobert. I mean, look,
Bro, they got 400 million. They've got 400 million committed to 2 players, bro.
only team with 200 million contracts on the roster.
And it might be the 2 worst $200 million players as well.
Interesting.
It might be.
Well, what do you think this means for the Timberwolves in the way they play now? Because obviously they've still got a lineup of they still got D'Lo there, they still got Anthony Edwards, and obviously this Twin Towers partnership now. For me, this is going to be really intriguing, especially on defense, because in terms of mobility, this front court is not great, and especially the way NBA teams are trending now, with these small ball lineups.
They ain't gonna be using forks, bro. Bro, what?
Are looking good, man.
Luca is he's
Yeah.
itching to play right now.
Luka's now got 2 people we can switch on to.
He's itching to play
Trust
right
me.
now, bro.
And we saw the foul trouble Karl Anthony Towns was getting into in the playoffs. Imagine him
But I
having
think
to
this
guard
helps that.
more
I think this
mobile.
helps that.
Yeah, I mean, they should win more games.
No, I mean this helps Cat in that Cat has never really felt right playing the 5. Like he's never wanted to be a 5. So putting him at the 4 full time, although he's not got the mobility, but at the end of the day, he's not got the mobility to play either. So you might as well just put him in a position that he's 100% comfortable with. He's basically he's just like AD pretty much.
Yeah.
But now you're putting someone like Gobert there, where I mean, giving Gobert a team where he's not going to be the only person playing defense, like that helps. But really, I don't know. I'm just happy we're finally free from the shackles of the Utah Jazz like mediocrity, man. Like,
yeah.
of
I
that
mean,
duo.
but they'd have you believe that they're still in it because they're apparently retooling around Donovan Mitchell. I don't know if anyone's told Donovan Mitchell that, but I'm sure he might have different plans to the Utah Jazz. I'm not sure Donovan Mitchell is going to want to run a pick and roll with Walker Kessler this season.
Yeah, he's a Knick, to be honest. Unfortunately.
What you don't think he's a Miami Heat?
Everyone's a Heat, to be fair.
Yeah, trust me.
Now, but one little
they just
thing,
got
though,
unlimited funds, bro.
yeah, one little thing is so their GM that they recently hired, Tim Connolly, so I think he drafted Gobert and then maybe traded him away or whatever. But so literally as soon as he gets hired, he got hired about less than a month ago, and his first move trade for Gobert. So he clearly regretted that. And then so he was with the Nuggets before, and he's the one that traded Malik Beasley and Jared Vanderbilt to the Timberwolves. And then as soon as he comes to Timberwolves, he just packs them up again. So he does not like them to.
Yeah. Patrick Beverly as well.
Pat Bev, his
Beverly on the move.
His realtor on like an 8-figure salary, bro.
The Popeyes meme, I saw that yesterday on Twitter. That killed me.
Bro, his realtor's on a 8-figure salary.
He's
bro.
getting passed around like a spliff, bro.
He said, I saw the tweet. It was like he said the next 5 years is mine, and he got traded 5 times, bro.
The thing about Pat Bev is like he doesn't help himself because which I guess is kind of fair play. Like if a player's on your team, you want them to be like this, but he
commits.
He gives his all. Like he acts like a lifer wherever he goes. Which again, when they're on your team, you want them to be like that, but it sets you up for so many jokes.
Oh, literally earlier in the day, like every move that the Wolves made, like he was like, yeah. Like,
I don't know what city's worse to live in as well, like Minnesota or Utah. Like
Pat Bev in Utah, I don't want to see that, man. That's gonna get ugly. Yeah, I don't want to see that.
I mean, I think what the Jazz they saw that compilation of Victor Wembanyama, or I'm not sure how you pronounce his name. I'm sure.
Oh, but now they're keeping. I think D Mitch would have to force a trade. I don't think that.
No, I know, but I'm saying they're not going to win a lot of games next year. Is what I'm saying.
But they're not bottoming out with that team, though. They're just going to be more mediocre. Like instead of being a 6 seed every year, they're going to be in the play-in.
Yeah.
Because
Which is just, again, never where you want to be.
Emish is about to be he's about to appreciate Gobert a lot more, like, because
Trust me.
the defense was the only thing holding them together. Like, we're really about to find out.
Yeah,
People are about to appreciate Gobert's impact.
because literally, especially for those last 2 years, it seemed like the Jazz's strategy on defense was just funnel everything into the paint and let Gobert deal with it. And now, to be fair though, they might have a better shot blocker in Walker Kessler. 4.6 blocks a game in college. They got another Mark Eaton. Mark Eaton reborn.
Was it? You said this was the white Gobert. This is the white French. This is the white French Hibbert. No, I don't know, man. I don't know. They might.
Funny
This is tough. It's gonna be hard to sell. It's gonna be hard to sell. Yeah. They're choking too, bro. They're choking too, bro. Like, it's gonna be a hard sell for them, man.
What expectation do you put on the Timberwolves now, though? Because, as we said, the only team with 200 million plus contracts. Should they be viewed as a contender now?
No.
But do you think that's what they thought they were becoming with this move? Because surely you wouldn't give up that much if you didn't think so.
Listen. They got better, okay? They got better. But
sure.
Why would you look? You got Anthony Edwards on your team, okay? Like, that's your future. And I guess Cat, even though I'm starting to lose confidence in Cat. But
yeah, that playoff run wasn't great.
Every playoff run he's had.
I mean, he's only had 2.
Yeah. Yeah. But look, like, you basically said this is their team now, basically, because they've sold out for this when they could have sold out for some, like, other players are going to come available, and this package could get you a lot of players, like,
for sure.
For you to use it to get Gobert is interesting.
It's very interesting, and especially when another man became available just recently. I'm not saying
this package could get you 2 stars. What they just traded.
Yeah.
It could have been 2 separate deals for 2 stars that would have done the same job, and then you could just get like a Miles Turner for something much cheaper. So, I don't know.
I guess not the only good thing, because obviously they're going to be better, but a good thing now for the Timberwolves, they do have security now, where they have Anthony Edwards, who's still on his rookie contract. You got Cat, who's just re-signed, and now you got Gobert on this long-term deal. So at least they'll have that foundation for a while without any question marks popping up. So at least they can build upon it.
Yeah, that's the one thing. They don't have to worry about this being like a Celtics situation, because like a Celtics Nets situation back in the day. Because at least with this, you have 2 young players that no matter what, like, that's your foundation for.
I wonder if Cat was assured before he signed his deal that the Timberwolves.
Don't worry, we got friendship up our sleeve, like.
But like, or maybe not exactly this move, but a move to this caliber.
I think he was just assured that it was $250 million, bro. Yeah. That's what I think.
Fair, but I get, like,
has anyone declined 250 yet?
No.
I don't think so.
I mean, why would you?
I'm not expecting it anytime soon. Look at Bradley Beal. But we'll talk about that in a bit. But yeah, it's interesting, man. I think for a move like this, anyone that makes this type of move, it's like to guarantee that they're a contender. Like, this puts a lot of pressure on Anthony Edwards, I think.
Well, this is like the Paul George LA move, or the KD to the Nets move, in terms of like what they've given up. Yeah. Like, you're literally giving up the next 10 years of your franchise, maybe even further, 10, 15 years of your franchise.
They've traded a pick in like 2029.
And when you look at those names who I just mentioned, who were acquired for similar packages, you'd have to say Gobert is probably the weakest out of those 3 stars.
100%.
And also fit-wise, because KD can fit anywhere like a glove. Paul George can fit anywhere like a glove. Gobert, the type of player that he is, it's going to take a lot more work.
And the scene, so Gobert is not Gobert. Also, you're committing a lot more financially, and with those other two teams, even as much as the Nets have underperformed, like the ceilings for the Clippers as currently constructed and the Nets in those days, fully healthy, was a championship, was at least like a contender. There's questions still about the Timberwolves. Like, do we know for sure that they're further than the second round right now?
I mean, look, when we say we haven't answered those questions, a lot of those questions will be answered from now, like the deals they do now, because with the amount of players they've just.
I mean, what deals can they do? They've strapped up everything.
But their locker room is like empty as fuck right now because of the amount of players they've just traded, right? So they've got to make some smart moves to fill up those spots.
But listen, this is the talks we're normally having, yeah. This is the talks we normally have when a team puts together like a super team, and we're like, okay, they got to fill the rest of the rest of minimums. Like, this is far from a super team.
Yeah.
And one of their big three is on a rookie contract. So in about 3 years,
more money they've got tied up.
In about 3 years, that gets even more tight. So it's
a big risk, man. It's a very, very big
I don't know, man. Maybe because you're in Minnesota, you kind of have to make those type of. I don't know.
I mean, but Minnesota,
small market doesn't mean you have to make dumb.
They've never made a move like this, so maybe they just thought, "Fuck it!" Like it's the one time we've had this opportunity present itself. You know, with the Minnesota Timberwolves, we're used to so much mediocrity. Even if we don't win a championship, if we can be semi-contending for a few years, that could be the highlight of our franchise's history. Yeah. I don't know.
This you make a move like this, Anthony Edwards has to be a superstar. Like, he has to be.
I mean, yeah, because you can't rely on all your offense coming from Cat and Gobert. Like, you need, especially in today's NBA, you need an outside perimeter player who can like win you a series or win you a game. So, and I think Anthony Edwards is pretty set to become that. I mean, from what we saw in the playoffs, he was incredible at times. So.
Oh yeah, Kermit is next up, bro. He's next up.
Oh man.
Next up. But yeah, like
Bo Cruz is currently a free agent. How about they team those two up? Let's make Hustle Part 2, man.
Marlon. Nah. Yeah, I don't get it. It's like it makes sense in a way, but it's like, did you have to do it? That's the question.
They didn't have to do it. Seems like what else do you think they could have done?
I don't think they were in a position when you have a player going into their third year. Wait, yeah, Anthony was going into his third year, right? Yeah. When you got a player going into his third year and you've just signed someone to a super max extension, I don't think you're like on the clock. Like, we have to make a move right now. I don't think you're in that position of being forced. It's similar to no, like, who were they bidding against? Who was putting so much pressure on them that they had to like give their best offer? Like, who were they going against? Like,
I mean, I think we were in for him, the Chicago Bulls.
Could the Bulls counter anything similar to what they just gave up? No. Like, they don't have those picks. They don't have anything. It's one of them things.
I mean, did you see Vooch's tweet?
Yeah.
That was funny. But yeah. I think obviously the Bulls would have offered a package centered around Vooch and Kobe White. And I think Vooch puts
6 times less picks.
I think Vooch puts you even more in that kind of purgatory of being mediocre, because he's obviously he can be an all-star caliber player, whereas everyone the Timberwolves were sent to the Jazz, they're kind of like role players, right? So if the Jazz got Donovan Mitchell and Vooch, they would kind of still have to win almost. So I think that's why they haven't gone for that. But yeah.
No, my point is, when you offer like 5 picks or 5, but yeah, a player just got drafted like 2 weeks ago, so 5 picks.
Yeah,
you're doing that because, I don't know, you offered an original offer, and then everyone and then this team and that team were like, nah, we'll give you this, we'll give you that, and then you get to like this point, it's like you're just bidding against yourself. If I come up to you and I'm like, I want that t-shirt, and there's no other offers, I'm not just gonna come up to you and be like, all right, here's $3 for this t-shirt, like, without anyone else. No one else is like, you know what I mean? No one else has put any pressure on them. Like, obviously, there's been
But we
rumors.
don't know that though. That's the thing. We don't know that.
The reason why we know that is because no one else. Who else has the ability to give that offer? OKC, the Rockets. That might be it. And we weren't gonna go for Gobert. So it's like, do you have to give up all of your assets for the next 10 years to make
No.
this move when you're gonna need some of those assets to fill up the rest of the roster? That's the part that, especially because they're not on the clock. It's not like they were in fear of losing.
So what do you think would have been a more suitable offer?
But wait, one sec. So let's, because if we talk about comparing other moves, yeah, like the Paul George trade, you had to make that as much as like we clown because obviously they gave us everything and Shea, like it's not a trade that aged too well. But if you're gonna if it guarantees that you're gonna get Kawhi Leonard, then yeah, you have to make that deal. Like you have to. They would make it again, even knowing how good Shea is and how the other picks have panned out. They're gonna make that trade again. So I just think it's the picks more than anything. Like that, the volume of picks that gets me.
But this is why I almost feel like there was a conversation with Cat, because again, why would they be so hasty in giving up their future without what almost feels like second thought? I feel like there must have been a conversation with Cat.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And if you keep him, like, if that's a stipulation of this trade, then I feel like you probably do it.
Yeah, but I think the job could have been done with about half the picks.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. But you know who did? You know who the biggest winner of this trade is?
Who?
The Nets. Because
I don't know if the Nets can be described a winner in anything, man.
from this trade specifically, the Nets are about to get 15 picks. Like, what's KD gonna go for? Because a lot of the deals I've been seeing over the last 2 days, they haven't been this crazy. So
I mean, a lot of the deals that we've seen so far have been, in my books, massive underpays.
they've been what?
Like DeJounte Murray, like that trade. They
Yeah,
got him on the
I
cheap.
don't get.
Like there's been like a lot of
It's
cheap
blown my
deals.
mind. It's blown my mind what value is. The Brogdon one.
Malcolm Brogdon, like,
I don't know what value is anymore in the NBA.
trust me.
There's been a reset, and this deal with Gobert,
It's either a massive overpay and Gobert, or you get them for nothing. Like there's no middle ground. It seems like.
now look, KD, because
KD,
who
this is
was it?
unprecedented because the guy has 4 years left on his deal.
And there's literally never been another player that's been like fully available for a trade at this in that tier.
Yeah, like he is obviously like a top 5 player in the NBA on a 4 year
Just
contract.
just if you look
Like
at the
this is crazy.
top 15, 20 players of all time, I'd say in his prime, I guess, obviously coming off the injury, but still in his
Yeah,
prime, no
I
one's
mean,
been
even
available.
off the injury,
No one's been available. Obviously, like Kobe, he demanded a trade, but they didn't trade him. So
yeah.
there's literally never been anyone on that
I
stature.
mean but that could still happen here though.
Yeah, that's the thing. Obviously, yeah. If you don't know, if you've been living on a rock, KD has requested a trade, from
Yes.
the Brooklyn Nets. Uh, After that circus of 3 years, like that big three played 16 games together. Wow,
I know. I
definitely the
know.
most disappointing team of all time.
I know
Uh,
Kyrie's sick right now. I know Ben Simmons is sick right now.
oh no, I
Like,
think Kyrie probably knew. Kyrie,
you think?
he was probably like, let me just get my guaranteed bag real
But
quick,
then,
because
I
they're
mean,
gonna get rid of
you
Kyrie.
can't really predict what Kyrie's thinking because
They don't want
there's
to.
a
They
famous
don't want to
quote.
deal with a headache. They don't want to deal with a headache with just Kyrie. Like they're
Yeah,
like, we only signed you because of KD. So like,
the
they
headache
might
of
just
Kyrie for like 40 wins. Nah, that's the.
they might
That's
just
not.
give him away because see, I wouldn't even put it past them to just trade him for Russ just because like I just don't want to deal with that again.
Do you know what killed me though? But see, when Lakers fans were like, um, yeah, Kyrie can resign for 37 million, but then he can also sign for
Six
the Lakers
million.
for 6 million a year. Like,
Bro, I was being told by Lakers, like I got friends that are Lakers fans. They're like, nah, No, even you were like, oh yeah, no, he might. I was like, bro, no one is.
I'm
I
just
don't care
playing.
how crazy anyone is. Yeah, they're not taking a $30 million pay cut when they don't have to.
And
They're not doing
it's
that.
not even like a guaranteed championship as well.
No, $30 million pay cut to join a team that attempts CT
Yeah.
and CT. Yeah, I don't know about that one, but yeah. So yeah, KD's trade value is going to be unprecedented. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
so
the Nets are, they're gonna, either you're gonna have to give them everything you've got, or he's not moving, because they are in no position.
oh,
They
4 years. Okay, I
they
go
have
ahead,
all the leverage.
KD, go ahead, sit out for 4 years. Go
Yeah.
ahead, I dare you. I dare you to sit out for 4 years. Go ahead.
My guy's nearly 34 as well. Like,
Yeah, I dare you to
you
sit
ain't got
out until
much
you're
time left,
38.
bro.
Yeah, sit out till you're 38. Go ahead, I dare you.
This is gonna be
Like,
like the maddest Mexican standoff ever.
yeah.
Literally.
Plus,
Uh,
I don't think KD would do that. I think he just loves hooping so much that I don't think KD's even with the
I don't
drama
think
like
he
that.
would do that. I don't think he would do
I
that.
think if KD plays for the Nets for the whole season next year, he'll play it as well as he possibly can.
But then,
He's
but
not
then,
gonna pull a Harden.
but then saying that, we say it's past him to not do that. But then, if it's past him to not sit out, this feels like such a weird time to request a trade. Because
Does it?
I think it does, because you finally have a bit of direction with the franchise, because you have Ben Simmons coming back healthy.
Do you know you have that?
I mean, that's what everything is indicating to. You saw his story the other day, feeling great, you know.
Bro, KD saw that. KD saw that
He
story,
was like, no.
and he hit up his agent straight away. He was like, "Let's drive to the owner's office right now." He was like, KD was not waiting. He saw the 3 point workout like videos coming down the line. He was like, "Nah, I can't deal with this. I can't deal with this." No, you know what? I think KD got pushed over the edge by the Kyrie situation, because I think it's clear that him taking this player option, it's clear that Kyrie is not going to be on the roster in a year. Like,
Yeah.
he's not going to be in the roster in a year, and there's just too much uncertainty. I think it's the opposite of what you said. I think there's just so much uncertainty. I think uh he's just done. Like, it's been nothing but uncertainty since he joined.
But would you not request a trade maybe in a year's time, because a 3 year contract is probably a lot easier to acquire than a 4 year.
Everyone, nah, not for KD. If anything, KD, a team is more like they want a 4 year contract more than a 3 year,
Yeah,
because they want
but then
KD locked up. And they want
yeah,
another year of KD's prime as well.
yeah.
Because this year, the next 3 years is better than the last 3 years.
But it's going to be a lot more expensive, I feel like.
Yeah, but I think the longer the contract is,
It's just not a good situation. Like,
nah. No.
no one is going to win in this situation,
Yeah.
realistically.
And look, there are, so obviously 4 years, so there's no rush, but there are some implications. So, we talked about Ben Simmons. There's actually a bit of a dilemma with Simmons, because Simmons signed a rookie extension. I think it's called a
Yes,
designated rookie extension.
saw this.
And you can have a maximum of two players on your roster that have that deal, but they have to both be drafted. So you can't have two that are traded for.
Yeah, so they can't
Um,
get Bam.
yeah, so there's actually a full list of players that they let me pull it up. There's like a full list of players they can't trade for, which is what the type of player that they'd want in this type of deal. So they can't trade for Wiggins. They can't. Sorry, wait. Yeah, they can't trade for Wiggins, can't trade for Embiid, can't trade for D-Book, Cat, Murray, Mitchell, De'Aaron Fox, Jason Tatum, Bam, Trey Young, Shea, Luca, or Michael Porter Jr. So that's pretty much half of the young players that you'd want in this type of rebuilding type move, that
Yeah.
they literally can't trade unless there's a third team involved to acquire Ben Simmons, or they get rid of Ben Simmons anyway. And then with Kyrie as well,
Ben Simmons just causes problems for
yeah,
everyone.
he don't
And
even have to play.
obviously, this isn't his fault, but it's just like,
Yeah, he doesn't even have to play. Like, I
what
know
did you
Sixers
go?
fans must be Sixers
Trust me.
fans must be laughing their asses off right now.
What did you make of the owner's comments that he'd rather have a 40-win team with good chemistry than
I
I mean
thought,
Why did you trade?
I was like, that sounds kind of familiar, doesn't it?
Go on.
I was like, that really? Would you?
I
Wow.
mean,
Like, I wonder what he'd do if he was in the position where he could have that. Like,
I mean,
I mean, yeah, interesting.
that 2018
Sounds
team,
sounds a
they,
little bit like the 2018 team.
they look like they had a lot of chemistry. I mean, they won about around 40 games. I mean,
Maybe it's it's him being kind of reflective, and
yeah, I think he's just being spiteful a little bit.
I think he's just reflecting. Maybe he's just like in his zen, and he's just thinking back and reflecting on his life, and just thinking like maybe the grass wasn't greener on the other side, and
Yeah,
yeah,
but
I
this
don't
is the
know.
thing with a trade like this. Like on paper, you get offered Kyrie, Harden, and KD. Fucking you'll move heaven and earth to do that on
Listen,
paper.
if if all those teams he traded all those players to got together and were like, we're gonna trade you back all those players for Kyrie and KD, yeah, and then like Kawhi and Luca became available next year, they'd trade them all of that again for those two
The thing
players.
is, yeah,
Like, let's be real.
the team the Nets would have had the year KD was hurt, so 2019.
Yeah, that's what that's
That would have been the best team.
they never needed to make the Harden trade.
No,
That's the part that I'm like, yeah, because is it yeah
because they still
that's the
had
part
Karis
I'm
LeVert, um,
Jarrett Allen,
Jarrett Allen,
Spencer
uh,
Dinwiddie off the bench.
like they had a really solid, deep team. Like that would have been a force in the East. But that Harden trade kind of, I think that's the big mistake in this whole. It's not a dynasty by any means. I don't know what to call it. This whole saga, that is that is the
Yeah.
big mistake, that Harden trade, because they gave up so much of their future for him. And obviously there was a lot of circumstances out of their control. Like there is an element of really bad luck for the Nets.
Oh, for sure.
Um, but still, man, like
Man, that's the basketball gods not rewarding people that run from the grind, man.
trust me, Rip Bozo.
Because he ran from the grind. He ran from the grind. Hey, man, bet you wish you stayed. Bet you wish you stayed on a team with Russ, Oladipo,
Yeah,
Al Horford, like
and
you name it, whatever. But he ran for the grind there. Then he had everything you wanted, man. You could have won 5 chips in 6 years, bro. You could have done whatever. You were like,
went home.
nah, I'm gonna run from that.
I think
And then
with that one, he let the media get to his head.
he be letting people get to his head for sure.
Trust me.
And then yeah, this whole mess, and now he's like, as soon as it gets tough, trade me to one of the first seeds.
I mean, that's literally what he's asked for right now as well. That's
And
literally
he
what he's
said
asked
he
for now.
said so he said I want to go to the Suns, but I'll only go to the Heat if they keep Jimmy Butler, Bam, or Lowry. Like, all right. So what
So,
we talking about here?
so what the Nets get back then?
What Max Strus
Yeah.
and Vincent?
The only asset I can see one of those two teams trading is Aiton.
Hmm?
But again, wait, is Aiton on that list of players they can't
No,
trade
no, no, no. He's not. He's not.
because he
But he's
hasn't
not
signed his
technically on
extension?
their. Yeah, he's not technically on their roster
Mm-hmm.
though. So yeah, they could do a sign and trade
It'd have to be a
situation.
sign and trade.
But I don't even know if they do. The Suns have their picks like that. I feel like they gave us picks for CP.
It'd have to be. It's looking like a three-team trade, man. It's looking like.
OKC, bro. Presley's actually going because all of these superstar trades that happen, yeah, I'll just see like a random tweet from from an Oklahoma reporter that says, "Just so you know, because Presti acquired rights to this pick, the like Team X would have to give OKC more assets if they wanted to make this deal." They've Presti's actually got the whole league on look.
He's playing 4D chess.
He's got the whole league on look.
I swear
But yeah,
there's like three teams now with like the whole of the league's picks. It's like OKC, the Jazz, and like the Rockets.
yeah,
That's
nah,
literally it.
it's crazy. But yeah, and then before we go, because I want to talk about CBA stuff again. Uh, the Royce O'Neal trade, like,
Yeah, giving up
why?
a first round pick for Royce
R-
O'Neal.
right after like AD announces, you know what I think happened? Because it was like 3 hours, yeah, but No, I feel like they agreed on a trade, yeah, and then like Sean Marks is just calling him like, nah, cancel it. He's like, nah, I can't go back on it now, bro.
It's like when you get Deliveroo and you're trying to get your money back.
Yeah, no, it's
It
crazy,
just doesn't
bro.
work.
Yeah,
But like, I don't even see the budget behind
giving
it.
up a pick just before you're about to go to your rebuild is crazy. It's tough though, because if they have their current roster without having to trade anyone, that's a decent move. But yeah, with on a rebuilding team, that's an interesting one, man.
That news came that KD news came at a very bad time for
But
risking
bro,
it.
I do not want to see like Kyrie to the Lakers and trading Russ, bro. If we have to see a season of Russ and Ben Simmons on the same team, like, oh my god, like,
No,
I'm not.
no.
That's torture, bro. Imagine like a game of that, and then like them versus like the 76ers. So you got the 76ers free throw competition, and then you got like that on the other side, bro. That like
But just somehow they both get to the finals. You got what 7 games of that, bro. Let's not even manifest that. I mean, obviously it's
yeah.
not gonna happen anyway, but you know.
But yeah, real quick, CBA. The CBA is gonna be crazy. There's gonna be another lockout. There's gonna be another NBA lockout. There will be. Like we've got we got a superstar player that signed a contract, and then the next year demanding a trade.
Mm.
4 years left on his deal, and because of his level of like superstardom, he's probably gonna go where he wants to go.
Yep.
Uh yeah, the owners are not going for that. These are billionaires, they got egos, they're not going for that. They're not about to have
It's like an undermining of their power, isn't it? Almost.
yeah, yeah. Like these billionaires are gonna listen to like their whole like this business that they own is being run by these players, and they're saying,
Yeah.
okay, now you gotta send me where I want. You gotta send me away after you just committed the next 4 years to me, but you also gotta send me exactly where I want to go as well. Like when Kyrie was coming
And
out
it
of
has
his
to be
list,
one of the top seeds in the
yeah,
NBA.
when Kyrie was coming out of his list, I was like, oh my god, like Kyrie after everything, Kyrie like giving a list of teams is funny, bro. But yeah, it's tough. Whether you agree with player movement or not, I mean, I think obviously the players they should have the power over it. But I think it does get to it gets to a level where it's a bit mad. Like when you
Especially
got
with KD of all people. Like he's the guy that's like bent the rules, not bent the rules, but
but if
kind of
anything,
undermined the NBA
I,
the most.
nah, I think if anything, KD is one of the players that kind of had like is all right with just because he he is at least like as much as like we don't agree with the moves he's made in terms of like leaving the Thunder and stuff like
Yeah.
on a I don't want to say moral because it's basketball, but you
For
know what I
you,
mean.
it's
Like
moral. For you, it's moral.
now, but it is, bro. You got jumped.
No,
You
I know
got
what you
jumped.
mean. It's in terms of it's
You and your
moral in
brothers
terms
got
of
jumped, and then
competition.
you left and you joined the jumpers. Like,
Yeah.
but look, like at the end of the day, he's until now he's been through every contract and he's played and he's not made it ugly. So cool. But when you got like
But
Ben Simmons,
it's not even about his situation. It's about the
yeah,
president it sets for
yeah,
everyone.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I've been feeling this way since the Ben Simmons move. I think Ben Simmons and James Harden, those are the worst ones because Harden is just the man that trades from teams in the space of a year.
Yeah.
Like Harden just be like, as soon as
And
he
he
gets,
got his
yeah, I'm out.
wish.
And Harden has made it ugly as well. He's like, oh yeah, I'm just not gonna try for 10 games.
Yeah.
So that, but yeah, it's not gonna be good. Like we're gonna start seeing in the from the next CBA, they're gonna start either limiting movement. No, I don't think they can limit movement, but they're gonna bring in some protections on these contracts, like uh I don't know, like after you sign a certain amount of money deal, that player can't be traded within the next year or something
Yeah,
like.
like bigger no trade clauses and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not gonna be good, man. There's a couple years down the line, we're not gonna have NBA basketball for a little while. I can't lie, because there's gonna be a lockout. We're gonna see some mixtapes on Ballers Life of
Truly.
some some Drew League highlights or something. Because
Hey,
yeah,
Peyton Pritchard would be gas probably.
he gonna get math contract straight off the lockout, man. Yeah, yeah, it's not looking good. And then the Kyrie thing, like, I don't know, I don't even know if I have the energy to go over all of that. That's just. I
Yeah.
think, and I don't think the Nets do either. I think the Nets are just going to be like,
I think I
you know
love
what?
that.
After we get rid of KD, after we get like 25 picks for KD, Kyrie, just go where you want. Just so you're out of our hair. Like,
I loved his interview. Was it at the BET Awards? I can't remember where it
yeah,
was.
yeah, 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 yeah. He's like, do you
He's
want to
like,
be a net?
he's like,
He's like,
I
he
thought
swung his body.
he swung
Swung
his
his body
body
to the
to the
side.
side. No, I honestly, when he was saying that and he was leaving all those comments on that Instagram post, I honestly thought he was gonna decline that option. But
Bro, the report said, I think he just knew like you're not getting a bag anywhere if you decline this option. Uh, I think yeah, it was a bit worrying when the report said that the Nets weren't expecting him to pick it up, like, and that he hadn't even spoken to them or like KD. I was like, yeah, this is a bit sticky. This is a financial decision.
I got to clap it up for Lakers fans though, because they put Kyrie in a Lakers jersey in record time. Like, I had never seen a Photoshop be done that
Record
quick.
time, they've had that. They had that.
No, no, I know, but see the ones where they put him with alongside LeBron and AD, like they had
Oh
that
yeah, yeah,
ready,
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
They had that ready.
See,
Like they were
nah,
like,
the Heat, they're almost on the Heat's level. The Heat, actually, nah. I've seen so many Russ ones before. I've seen so many Russ ones in like 2015, and like the Heat and the Lakers, but they got some photoshoppers like on their
trust me.
on their stars, man. They got some graphic designs on their stuff. Because the Heat, especially the Heat, always have they got updates of every player. Like they've got players in their home away jersey, their city edition jersey. They've got players ready in every single colorway. They
See,
update it every season.
see that meme of that kid on Beyond Scared Straight when they run in and like wake him up and like drag him out his bed.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I imagine they do with their graphic designers.
Bro,
like quick,
you know what's crazy?
Carrie's
Because
Carrie's acting
whenever a
crazy
new
again.
player
Get on Photoshop.
you know, like when a superstar, like, or when a star joins a new team, and you're like, oh, this looks weird. To be fair, KD in a Warriors jersey never look weird to me. I
Yeah.
mean, no, not never look weird. They never look right to me. They always look weird to me. But when a player joins Miami,
Anyone in the Lakers or a Heat jersey, it just looks alright.
it
But
just looks normal. Like we're just conditioned to see it now. We're just conditioned to see it. But yeah, it's a mess. I've heard the Raptors as like a outlier team because as a sleeper team to quite them because they have the assets and KD's not in a position to
another
demand.
team that beat him. Another team that beat him.
But yeah, they have the assets to give to the Nets and also still build around him.
Yeah.
They could kind of have like a Kawhi Raptors type thing, but for like the next 4 years.
Well, what would the package be? I'm assuming Siakam would be involved. I'm
Yeah,
assuming
because
OG
that's
would be
that's where they're
involved.
kind of lucky is that because they keep finding these hidden gems, none of them were eligible for like these rookie extensions because they were like second round picks or whatever. So not
Yeah.
so none of them are an issue in terms of moving. I think the sticking point would probably be not wanting to get rid of Scotty Barnes. I think
Yeah.
uh
And I think the Nets would be pretty adamant that they would want Scotty Barnes.
for sure. But yeah, they've got the picks to work with. Yeah, Masai Ujiri, like he'll make something work. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if KD wants to go there, but you're on a 4-year deal, bro. Like you're gonna go where we want you to go.
Yeah. And if you don't, then there's bigger questions to be asked. Like
But yeah,
if he somehow ends up on the Suns or the Heat, that's crazy. That would be crazy.
if he ends up on the Suns or the Heat, then yeah, there's 100% gonna be a lockout, NBA lockout. I think just Harden being able to end up on whichever team you wanted was crazy. Like
And
Harden
2 years in a fucking row as well.
after he did everything that he did, like this
Yeah.
guy just went to the like he just started hitting up the strip club, like putting on fat suits, like
Man.
he has like 3 games in a row. Like do you remember when he was just letting the ball go out of bounds? And then as soon as he
Yeah.
joins his new team, he's like 20, 10, and 10, 25, 10, and 10 for like the next 5 games.
And now he's taking pay cuts and shit. Like
Yeah,
fair play.
fair enough, man.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. But let's talk. Okay, Murray trade. Dejounte
Shante
Murray.
Murray.
I think that was like the first deal that went down after the draft.
Yeah, pretty much. The first
First
massive one.
big, yeah, the
Yeah.
first big deal. In the moment, I liked it, but now
It's a
it's
weird
tough.
one.
It's tough because when you make a deal so quickly, and then like 48 hours later, apparently every star in the league is available. It's tough. It's like one of them ones. Is like so when you it's like when you go for that girl and then you find out her friends are bad, bro. It's like it's tough, bro. It's like
But it's not like the Hawks gave up an arm and a leg for him, so they've still got assets
they
to.
did give up quite. They gave up decent amount. They
I
gave up.
mean, three first round picks, but in terms like they've still got John Collins, they can move for someone else. So
Yeah. No, they can fill out that roster, but it's like okay, let's say they wait 48 hours, they could have been in the running for KD.
yeah, but again, I don't really see a package that the Hawks could have offered that the Nets would want, especially player wise. Do you want John Collins and Bojan Bogdanovic? I mean whatever. Which I always get them too mixed up. But um,
Yeah,
I think this is a good trade. The only
yeah,
question mark I have about it is those two fits because
yeah,
they are two very ball dominant guards.
yeah.
Um,
You're kind of taking away from because you're gonna run the ball through Trey Young. It's not a question.
yeah.
But now,
So what does
you
Dejounte Murray become? Is he like a,
exactly.
a DeLon Wright now? Like a glorified DeLon Wright?
Yeah,
I
it's one
don't
of those
know.
situations where when you have too much of the same thing, it's like you're taking away from that.
Yeah.
It's why we never thought like the Lakers situation would work because everything that you're wanting from Russ is being minimized by LeBron, and then
Yeah.
now, but you're still getting all the bad things. So it's like, how do you get the most out of both players?
It's quite a risky move because
Yeah,
two of those picks are unprotected. 2025 and
I'm
2027
confused.
are
I
unprotected.
don't know why people why are teams still trading unprotected picks? I don't get it. Like, I I thought like the Nets would be a cautionary tale from a few years back. Like, I don't get it. Like, not even like top five protect. I
Like put
I
something
don't
on
get.
it. Do you know what I mean?
I don't
But
understand this.
but again, if you're acquiring those picks, like teams have seen what those unprotected picks did for the Celtics.
Bro, stuff changes so quickly. Like that is probably the most extreme example. But look, for all these, every time a deal goes down like this for a superstar, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, like we don't care. What? Why should we care that we're trading picks that are gonna be? This is gonna be a contender, so we're trading picks that are gonna be in the high 20s. Well,
It can go
we just
wrong
got
so quickly.
what do we just get? We just got a top 12 pick, which we turned into two top 12 picks. So stuff changes so quickly. Look at the Nets. We thought, oh yeah, they're just gonna win the next five straight championships. Look at them now. Within 3 year span, stuff changes so quickly. So for committing stuff 7 years in the future, when the league changes every 2 years, every offseason the complexion of the league completely changes. So
Exactly. I
that's
think it, I, th- I think it's a bit of a double-edged sword because you don't want to be accused of not making winning now moves, but you
yeah,
also don't want to give up your future. So I mean, in a lot of these scenarios, you can't really win,
nah,
um, which is tough. But that's the life of being an NBA GM, I guess. I guess with this one, um, the Hawks saw what they had 2 seasons ago, and they're trying to get back there, and they're trying
yeah,
to
man.
surpass that. Because if they didn't
They're
have that,
bored. They're bored of the regular season, man. So
this yeah, like I guess if they didn't have that, maybe they'd be a bit more patient. But
now I get it. You gotta be proactive. You gotta be proactive.
yeah,
When you got that type of star, you gotta be
I mean,
proactive.
I
And
don't, I
it's not
don't
a bad. It's not a
like
bad. Like,
three first round picks. It's a lot,
to be
but
fair,
I don't think it's a massive overpay.
at this point, I think we have to like readjust what we think is like an overpay because to be fair, look at the Drew Holiday deal a couple of years back. I think Dejounte Murray is better than Drew Holiday, and look what the Bucks.
I mean, it's hard to say. I feel like that's hard to say because playoffs, we don't know what Dejounte Murray's look.
It's at least debatable. It's at least debatable. They're at least on the same tier
Yeah,
enough for us to say that. And I think what the Bucks traded away like four picks and a few players for him.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I don't even know what the value is anymore.
I'm just I'm just
it's
really worried about this fit.
it's like when
I just
everyone
don't
gets
know how it's
100
gonna work.
million. It's like when everyone gets 100 million. I don't even know we don't even know what's about because you every time a player gets paid, we're like, oh, he got overpaid, and then you actually go look through everyone that's getting that amount of money, and you're like, okay, that's just a new rate
Yeah.
because of the salary cap. So it's one of them ones. Maybe everyone is just worth like at least a pick. But
Russo Nil was worth a pick, so
The Lakers are looking so either the league hates the Lakers or like Rob Pelinka is sleeping right now because you can't tell me that they couldn't have got Brogdon. like
no, but
apparently the
even like myself as a Bulls fan, I'm seeing a lot of these deals going down. I was like, you could have got him if you tried. You could have got him.
he's
You're
sleeping.
sleeping,
He
Arturus.
froze. He froze.
I thought you were the guy, but
He froze, man.
yeah, man. But
He
yeah,
he did
let's.
his job last season. He did his job and he's done
Now
now.
he's
He's
sleeping.
on cruise control.
Trust
But yeah,
me.
because the apparently I remember seeing a report that the Lakers offered Russ and like a pick on and THT for for Brogdon, or it might have been two picks, and apparently the Pacers laughed it off. But you could have had how was that a work? That's a better deal than what they got.
Yeah, I mean the deal they got.
Yeah,
Like when it came through, because I think it was Shams that tweeted it this time, but he did it the classic one sentence. Brogdon's going to the Celtics, and I sent it into the group chat as soon as that went down. I was like, I knew this is going to be a massive fleecing from the Celtics. I thought it was going to be like Peyton Pritchard in the first,
yeah.
but it's arguably even worse. They got Aaron Neesmith, Daniel Tice, Nick Stauskas, Malik Fitz, who I've never heard that name before in my life. Jawan Morgan and one first 2023 unprotected first round pick for
Well,
Malcolm.
they're picking up players on tenders just to trade them.
Trust me, they these are moves for their summer league roster. This isn't even for the NBA roster. They're trying to win that summer league championship.
Nah, okay, so you got that on lock, Rock. I don't care. Half of our rotations in the summer league, so
You know we're not even putting Io in the summer league. We're treating that man like a vet now.
now remember when THT was like walking around last
Yeah,
year
yeah,
summer
yeah,
league
yeah.
like a
That's what Io is gonna be like.
But shout out to Brad Stevens because he's looking like the next best thing in the front office, and this is his first year. Like he made that transition from from the locker room to the front office, and he blending right in. So
Hey man, his contact book must be hefty because, and a lot of people must owe him some favors because this feels like a bit of a favor. I'm not gonna lie because look at Brogdon last year, averaged 19 points per game, 6 assists and 5 rebounds, and he always is teetering on the 50-40-90 club. Like that's not a player you get for Jawan Morgan and Malik Fitz. So I feel like Indiana, I don't know, they could have got such a better deal, but again, I feel like this is just them just throwing away all the assets. Like, yeah, let's just get into this rebuild as quick as we can. And
right, so yeah,
especially with Tyrese Halliburton being on the roster, I feel like that made this deal a lot easier for them to stomach. Um,
for
so
sure.
I know who I'm targeting next year in fantasy. That's what I'm saying.
What Brogdon?
No, Tyrese Halliburton.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's
Now,
good.
Brogdon about to be their sixth man or something, isn't he?
Yeah.
Um, if I'm the Celtics right now, bro, I'm blowing up Adam Silver. Like, can we replay Game 6? Because damn, yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
what do you think the Celtics got with Malcolm Brogdon? Like, what's he gonna add to them?
Playmaking, of course,
Sure.
and shooting. Yeah, I think they don't want to mess up what they've got there in that big lineup. So I think they are just gonna run it back with the same five, but obviously Brogdon can be in a closing lineup, and Brogdon can add
Yeah.
off the bench as well. So he just adds another dynamic to the team, a whole other dynamic where throughout the finals, it kind of got exposed that they just keep having those droughts, those offensive droughts where they just
Yeah.
don't score, they just don't do anything, they just freeze, they freeze for like 5 minutes.
A
Uh,
guy moved in 40 minutes, he froze.
guy, yeah, like Jason Tatum, man, he's doing the Trey Young, bro. Like
Yeah.
he
Because this is
froze.
the thing. I feel like the Celtics, ever since they've been competitive, have been looking for this sixth man. They tried it in Dennis Schroeder. They tried it last year in Derek White, and it hasn't worked. But now I feel like they have the answer to that question.
They got better. They're a team that was
They
in the
got a lot
finals
better.
that got better, and I think they needed to get better because even though they made the finals, Chris Middleton was hurt, so there are just emerging threats. Every team is getting better,
Lonzo Ball was hurt.
but you can't be complacent. You can't be complacent as a team, even if you make the finals, even if you make the championship, you win the championship. Because I think the front office of the Warriors seems like they're a bit complacent because
Yeah, for sure.
they're making the mistake that the Lakers made, where they don't run it back. It's not a foregone conclusion. There's no 2017 Warriors. There's no KD Warriors that can just stamp their themselves into the finals. Because
I mean,
look,
Gary Payton the second. That's a massive loss.
Mhm.
He was
Wait,
so
I'm
he was so
seeing
big for them.
that one's bad, and especially
Also Porter was nice for them as well.
they lost their seventh and eighth man
Yeah, and
in the rotation.
Juan Toscano didn't really play too much in the playoffs, but
Because look at the landscape of the league. We're gonna go over it more probably in a future episode when we're just talking about parents, whatever. But every team is just getting better, and or getting healthier. Look at the Clippers. The Clippers looking. I mean, I think we're always saying the Clippers looking scary, but the Clippers are looking scary.
stay healthy, yeah, for sure.
The Nuggets getting more healthy.
Nuggets. I mean, Timberwolves now, bet they got better.
Yeah, everyone's getting better, so you can't just be like we won, so we're gonna run it back. Everyone's getting better around you. Yeah, it's so good on the Celtics for being proactive and just keeping it
I
going.
mean, the Warriors though were like so deep into the tax though, weren't they?
Oh yeah, they're paying a
They
crazy
were
amount.
crazy amount into the tax. So I guess these are probably just more necessities. Because Gary Payton, like, what was it? Is it 3 years, 28 million, or is it 2 years, 28 million? It's one of the two. But whatever, that's like, yes, he's very valuable, but that's a lot of money to be paying your eighth man, especially when you're paying your superstars so much. So it does financially, I guess it had to be done, but unless you've got a plan to replace them, you can't expect such an easy run back to the finals next year.
No,
Especially,
not at all. Because Curry was carrying for a lot of that. To be honest.
yes, for sure, for sure.
So they better hope that Clay gets back to what he was pre-injury.
I don't.
They better hope.
That's a techie one.
Yeah, they better hope Draymond. I don't know about Draymond, man.
Yeah, that guy.
I don't know about. Yeah, I don't know about Draymond, man. He got a new media thing down.
He's on like a two-way contract between ESPN and
New
Warriors.
media.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is tough. They've kind of go Curry what he needed, and then they were like, okay, and that like you got your fourth chip. All right, now let's just go back to the season before. Just try go for MVP again.
And look, the Warriors are in the unique situation where they're a championship team with aging assets, but they've also got a good balance of young, exciting talent. So
Oh yeah, if
the
Kaminga could
Warriors
step
are,
up,
yeah,
then hey man, keep it going.
exactly. If Kaminga can step up, if Wiseman can start to fulfill some of his potential and actually stay healthy, um, Moses Moody looks very raw, like a very raw talent. But
Yeah, they can get better from within. They can get better.
they could, and even there are some trades they can make. So look, the Warriors feel like the Spurs in which like they're just very smart and they never have their backs against the wall. They always have some type of leverage or flexibility. So yeah, they're going to be back for sure, and there's still moves they can make. So, but again, they shouldn't get complacent.
No, the Lakers on their heels.
I'm so excited to watch the Lakers next season, man. I'm so excited. Oh, I can't wait.
I literally can't wait,
I
man.
can't wait. See, wait, who was it that said was it Darvin Ham that said that Russ needs to be a defensive first player?
He said he needs to go back to being in it. What
When
are you
has he
talking about?
ever?
To my UCLA or something?
Yeah, like when has he ever been a
Because
deep
in
first
UCLA, he was
player?
like, I think he was like defensive, like I think he was drafted as a defensive prospect, like, and then but he was like a raw talent. But yeah, I don't know what like. He's always had the
a new
tools.
head coach to say that. That's crazy.
He's always had the physical tools to like to do it, and he's had his spurts, but like I don't know.
You can't do everything, like because when he was getting those triple doubles, like you can't do that and be defensive.
Yeah, every star that started off as like a defensive player that expanded as an offensive player, they've just ridden on like reputation. Like Kawhi is not nowhere near that anymore. Jimmy Butler's not that anymore. Like that's just not.
And the thing is, they're still elite, but they're not like what they.
Yeah, they're just not in. They're not just sat in the chair 40 minutes, like sliding their feet and getting to work. But Russ has never really been that. He just kind of uses athleticism to anticipate passes and stuff. But yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. Lakers, they love to say the right thing at the start of every season, like, oh, like LeBron and AD and Russ, they met 2 months before free agency, by the way. A bit of tampering there. But they met, and AD said, I'll play center. LeBron said, I'll slide to the 4, and we're going to make this work, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, nothing
just doesn't happen.
It just doesn't happen. You can say all the right things, but yeah, we don't need to.
We've been seeing all those videos of AD with lethal shooter.
You know? Oh yeah, as soon as
he said he hadn't touched the basketball since April, he was back. He
got bullied into it. If the one thing the Lakers fan base will do is they'll bully their players into acting right. And then as soon as KD demanded a trade and there was a Lakers rumors, like he posted another one in the gym. Yeah, I don't like talking about the Lakers anymore.
Should we mention some last quick deals? Well, we didn't mention Jalen Brunson to the Knicks. I mean, yeah. What does that do for you? In all honesty, 4 years, 110 million is a massive overpay.
Listen, I appreciate it. I appreciate them giving us the picks for no reason, man. I appreciate them giving. They were feeling so generous, giving every team their assets so they could overpay Jalen Brunson.
And look, Jalen Brunson is probably going to average like 23 points next year.
He's gonna learn. He's gonna learn how it is. He's gonna learn how it is without a superstar next to him.
I mean, the Knicks still have Julius Randle in their roster. Like,
I think
you need to get rid of him, man.
Jalen Brunson can't believe that he will thrive away from the most ball dominant player in the league in Luka, and he goes next to Julius Randle. All right, fair enough.
Hey man, Knicks fans are in for another bumpy ride.
Hey, they got their guy.
That's who they wanted. So if that's who they wanted, then fair enough.
I mean, that might be the first time they ever heavily recruited someone and got them.
It just so happened to be fucking Jalen Brunson, who they paid.
A win's a win, man. A win's a win.
I guess. It's just uninspiring.
27 million a year.
Kings have been making a few moves. Fucking getting some shooters. That's what they needed. So cool. I guess Kevin Durant. Yeah, cool. I mean, the Knicks re-signed Mitchell Robinson, first Knick in 29 years that they've given a second contract to, which is fucking crazy. I mean, they got him on quite a good deal though. But when you see what fucking Brad Stevens paid Rob Williams, that just makes him look an even better GM because they got him for 4 years, 48, and the Knicks got Mitchell Robinson for 4 years, 60. So
the Knicks and the Kings and the whoever, the Magic or whatever, they're always gonna they're always gonna show you that there's levels to this in terms of front offices. Like,
yeah,
100%. Every time these deals go down, I'm just like looking at Presti like, I'm just so grateful.
I don't know if you spoke about this, but the Blazers obviously re-signed Simons, re-signed Nurkic, brought in Jeremy Grant. I mean, that was another one that was an underpay, and another one that I thought, because we were courting Jeremy Grant for so long, and for them to get him for what they got him for, I can't even remember, but I think what was it again? I know there was a first round pick involved.
There was some tampering involved in that one as well, because when they played Detroit,
they all did this, didn't they?
Nurkic and Josh Hart they both posted a picture of them with
and they all like covering their mouths. Yeah, I remember that picture.
Yeah. But
so what was the trade? It was
cool, but
a protective a protected 2025 first-round pick and additional draft assets. Come on, man.
I think they knew that Grant doesn't fit what they're doing anyway. I think they signed him in the first place to trade him eventually.
I mean, yeah, they should count their lucky stars that he had that 20-point per game season.
Yeah.
But then I say that and they didn't really get much from him, so maybe not. But yeah, he doesn't really fit. Like his ego doesn't
He
really fit what
left.
he's gonna be, because I feel like Jeremy Grant wants to be that one season gassed him, and now he thinks he can be like the number one option. And like
Now,
when
you know what I
you look
think?
at
You
his
know what I think?
splits, he
I think he
shoots
learned
like
his lesson.
40, 30, and like he's a really inefficient player.
I think he just learned his lesson too late. I think he left something great with the Nuggets for like, let me go be my own thing, and then realized, nah, I need a superstar, and then he just ended up in a worse situation than he started in. But it is what it is.
I don't think it's a bad situation though.
No, I'm just saying.
It's not as good as the Nuggets, obviously.
Yeah,
but
you might as well just stay with the Nuggets.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. That's all I'm saying.
Hindsight is a wonderful thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, let's.
But I don't think he regrets the paycheck. So
let's move on to some of the bigger extensions, I guess. Zach LaVine,
I was gonna say, you got your guy, bro. You got
my man.
Hey, Clutch comes through, man. Clutch comes through.
And I told you before that I was fucking scared of Clutch. And the way he was moving in his exit interviews, like why does he have to like tease us like that? Like, bro, just say you love Chicago and you're coming back. Like, don't do that. So like my heart can't take that.
If you say you love Chicago and you're coming back, you're gonna get 184.
Yeah, true. Yeah, they played that well, to be fair. But what do you think of the size of the contract? 5 years, 215, but the 50
I think there's any questions
is a player option.
You have to do it.
Yeah.
You have to do it.
100%. Like,
not even just for Zach, but just the president as a franchise. You can never, especially as a big market franchise, you can never get caught being cheap. Like, you just can't, because it's not just about Zach. It's about the next superstar.
This is the first 100 million plus contract we've ever offered.
Yeah, you needed to get that off your back, because it's just not a good look. It's not a good look in this current NBA.
Yeah, and Zach as a player is obviously, I think as a player in today's market, he's worth that money. I think so anyway. You don't look.
I mean, to be fair, this is the first player you've had since like contract expanded like this that's been worth that anyway, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, if you kept Jimmy Butler.
Yeah. But like since the all the inflation in contracts.
Because I feel like you might have signed like Derrick Rose for like 95 or something.
I don't know.
I think I saw something about that. But yeah. It's no brainer. It's a no brainer.
Definitely a move we had to make. And
no brainer.
Similarly, Devin Booker obviously signed his 4-year contract. Let me just get up how much that exactly was. But again, obviously another no brainer. Apparently I'm hearing that the Nets, if they were, was Devin Booker on that list? I'm sure he probably was.
Yeah, right? Devin Booker's on that list.
Yeah, so they can't get him anyway. But 4-year, 224 million supermax. I didn't know it was a supermax. Interesting.
I mean, he was all NBA, right?
Yeah, he's now signed for 6 years, 295 million. Boy, they're gonna have in a few years. They are gonna have some questions to answer, because Chris Paul is not going to be around forever. DeAndre Ayton obviously doesn't have a long-term future there. So they're going to have some questions.
I'd be shook if DeAndre suits up this coming season for the Suns.
Yeah.
I'd be absolutely shocked, especially everything they've said about him.
100%.
Monty clearly doesn't like him.
He just doesn't feel wanted there, does he, at all?
Yeah, they've said they feel like they can get the same value with a much cheaper player, and just break that up. I think the back end of Chris Paul's deal is always going to be a bit ugly, because eventually, it's not going to look pretty. But I don't know. I don't know if I'd go for KD, just because what you'd have to give up. Well, no, you can't even give up Devin Booker, so you just have to give up some. You just I don't know. That's a weird.
It's
That's a weird one.
it's a
How do
sticky
you
one.
even
Yeah.
get him? How do you even get him? Because if I'm the Nets, why would I even?
The only
Why?
way I can see is a sign and trade with Ayton.
But why would I do that
Yeah.
when he's just gonna be unrestricted eventually anyway? So why would I even do that when they don't even technically have they don't even have the right, and like the Nets are gonna have cap space. Like they're about to get rid of like 300 million plus players. Like they're gonna have so eh, I think they could get more. So yeah, you have to do that Suns one. You have to
Yeah,
do
you
that.
have to do that. Nikola Jokic just signed the most lucrative contract in NBA history.
It's like
In
264,
Yeah, in 2027-28, he will be at $60 million.
and that's from being a second round pick to that. Crazy.
That's
I mean, he's
and
obviously the best second round pick of all time.
obviously a no-brainer. Don't even have to say that. Whatever. The Nuggets look scary next year. Not gonna lie. They obviously made that trade for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Ish Smith. I don't think that makes them. I think that's just like a bridge the gap move, like a sidestep. That doesn't make them better. Doesn't make them worse. But the reason they're obviously going to be scary is because they've got Murray and MPJ coming back next season. And obviously Bones Highland has turned out a lot better than they probably expected.
Yeah.
He's like it can be like their legit six man. So watch out for the Nuggets next year. Bradley Beal declined his option, but then got to the bag.
I don't even
He's
want to hear about Bradley Beal anymore.
Yeah, no
Like
more free Bradley Beal, please.
free Bradley Beal,
Let's
all
end
that.
this narrative. That the guy has Stockholm syndrome. He likes, you know. I mean, you wouldn't like that amount of money. So I mean, he's won 3 playoff games in 5 years, but money talks. Money talks, man.
Dollar bill,
I
yo.
don't really see what the Wizards can do. I mean, but yeah, get to the bag, bro. Like, it, again, it's kind of a contract they had to offer him. Again, because you don't want to look weak and you don't want to look cheap. So yeah, man, that's another one where it kind of had to be done.
And he's another one that might push it over the edge because what if imagine if he demands a trade in a year? That wouldn't
I
surprise
really
me though.
hope he does.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Wouldn't. No, but but he's gone through so much shit there, and
Yeah, but
he
I
hasn't
think
yet.
he
I
saw
feel
the
like he
light.
just. I
I think
just.
he saw the light of this contract at the end of the tunnel and was waiting. Because I haven't seen anyone decline a supermax yet, but I have seen players demand trades out. I have seen a lot of players get traded after the supermax.
But the NBA is just in a weird landscape where a lot of these deals are so difficult now
I
because
think
of
for
the
the
amount of money.
players, I think for the players, supermax is obviously great. Like obviously,
Yeah.
but I think for the league, it's actually made for basketball wise, it's made it a lot more difficult because I don't think I think it's mucked up like the value of players because now people look at Russ as like trash just because he's making 45 million a year. If he's making on a year to year basis of a contract more close to his value, he's not looked at the same way.
Mm.
So it's one of those ones where, and every time just committing that much of your cap space to one player is difficult like to work with throughout the league because now every time a trade happens with those players, you either have to trade like half your roster or you have to trade between two players that make that amount of money.
Yeah.
And now it's getting to a point where, let's say you were trying to trade for some unforeseen reason, you were trying to trade like a Jokic or whatever. 60 million, like how do you make that work?
That's the thing. That's what I mean. It's so difficult now trading these supermaxes because of the amount of money that's getting branded around.
Because I guess the point of the supermax is security.
And the fact that obviously like they grow year on year. So each year you wait
Yeah.
makes it harder and harder.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not easy.
But
But
yeah,
like
the point of a supermax
the
is
players
supposed
know
to
they
be
can
that
do
you
it.
keep that player, I guess. So
Yeah,
yeah,
but the president like James Harden and Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving have set shows that it can be done. So now players think, okay, I'll get my money and then maybe in 2 years' time I can go where I want. It's a win-win for me. I don't care
yeah.
about the franchise.
Because the way it works is that the players that are going to be eligible for a supermax are also going to be the higher tier players that have the most leverage.
Yeah.
So
And it's a players' league. Like at the end of the day, there's no NBA without these superstars. So
mhm.
I really hope that's not what Zach Levine's planning. Nah, I don't think so.
Nah. Yeah, it's tough though, because it's like, especially like a Gobert situation. Gobert is not on that level, but with the what's the word? With the criteria to meet it, it's like if your player meets the criteria of a supermax, you kind of feel like you have to offer it to him.
Yeah. By the way, I've just been like I was googling Devin Booker to see what his contract was. Yeah, and one of the headlines is, "It appears Devin Booker could propose to Kendall Jenner in order to save the relationship." Like what? What? Okay.
Oh, yeah, once he
How does
signed
that
that
work?
deal, though,
I mean,
hey,
but I think she's good.
yeah, she good though. She
I
good.
think she's quite financially stable.
Yeah. I think she cool.
Another one of the headlines is Andrew Bogut continues harsh Kendall Jenner Twitter
Now, have
spray.
you seen that? Have
No,
you
I've
seen
never.
that?
No.
I thought I sent it to the thing. He's wilding.
What's he
Andrew
been
Bogut
saying?
is wilding, bro. He tweeted like something like because they broke up, I think, and he
Yeah.
tweeted something like uh about like her being on the market and stuff. Like,
What?
yeah, yeah.
Why
Like her
Andrew
being
Bogut of all
her
people?
being a free
That's so
agent. I
bad.
don't know, it's so random, bro. It's so random, bro.
What the hell?
But yeah, he's got no filter. I mean, he's Australian. He like they don't care. They don't care. Yeah. Anything else? The 76ers, man. Like that's big. Harden finally decided to help a team out. Like,
I mean, I've got to praise him for that because
no, you got to. He wants to
I didn't
win.
think that
He
was
does want to
nice.
win. He does want to win.
Yeah,
And
like
like, as much as you don't love him, like the man in trades, I think the thought process behind each move was I want to win. Like, and I need to get it off my back. I'll go and join these two stars, and I'll defer to them. He didn't foresee the Kyrie situation, but I'll go and defer. And then here, yeah, again, I'll go and defer. Uh, I'll I'll decline. What's it like, 30, 40 million? To allow us to have the flexibility to
yeah.
sign these other players. They got Daniel House, they got PJ Tucker, the Philadelphia Rockets.
I
Yeah,
saw
Daryl Morey just turns every team back into the Rockets. But
I saw a Sixers fan the other day saying, "Oh, don't don't um don't count out the Sixers for a landing spot for Kevin Durant. We could offer them Tyrese Maxey, Tobias Harris, and Matisse Thybulle." I was like, I mean, I wouldn't put it past the Nets, but come on
I
now.
mean, does that beat THT and picks? The all reliable.
They're all reliable, all reliable. Um, the way Matisse Thybulle's trade value has just gone ran
Matisse
off the
Thybulle
roof.
was so overrated. I don't care. He's so overrated, bro. Like,
No, but
even
I feel like
defensively.
I feel like people are waking up to that now.
Yeah, yeah. Like,
His value's gone
but
down.
those fan bases are so like the 76ers and Lakers are so delusional. Like, you can't tell them anything.
What do we make of PJ Tucker, 3 years, 30 million?
Uh,
So giving a
bro,
37-year-old man a 3-year contract,
overpaid, but it's like he
it's
picks what
definitely
you want to do. I don't think they care. Like, they're in win now mode. They don't care about the consequences. Daryl Morey is an aggressive.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
he gonna make his trades. He gonna get his people. He doesn't care. So I think they've given them the keys and they've said, do what you got to do to get us an opportunity to win a championship. I don't think the Rockets regret anything that they did. It's like, I think we're in a league now where no one really cares about like the future in terms of
100%.
that everyone is happy. It's like, we'll win now or we'll go into rebuild. We don't care because the league changes so quickly. Because if
Yeah,
you think about it, it hasn't been that long now. OKC, the Thunder. Look at Detroit. Like, they didn't even go into that rebuild that long ago, and now they've got a core going forward. So I think it's not that daunting anymore to teams. Like, the
to go
prospect
into a
of having to
rebuild.
go into a rebuild. Like, I think the scariest thing in the league is
Yeah,
no man's land, is the middle.
especially now that they've changed the draft odds as well. Like
Yeah,
you don't have to be the worst team in the league anymore to get the top pick.
yeah. So I think uh, the scariest part of the league for most teams is
That
six
purgatory.
seed. Yeah, six seed to ninth. Like, that's what you don't want to be.
Yeah, 100%. and a lot of teams are heading in that direction. So, but hey, man, I hope we get some more drama. I saw a tweet the other day saying that the NBA is like reality TV for men, and I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, and it's an all year round thing now.
Yeah, literally, like we'll probably start recording, and then we'll get the Woj bomb. Kevin Durant's been traded. Like that's just probably how it'll go. But I love it, and I start work in 8 minutes, so we should probably wrap this up.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're gonna be here. We're gonna cover everything. Emergency pods whenever something breaks. We're waiting on that KD news. I'm not sure we're getting that KD news this summer, but we'll see.
I don't think we will either. But this is the thing. We never know. So
I hope we don't. I want to see KD and Kyrie play a year with this awkwardness. That'll be so funny. Imagine Kyrie play. You know what though?
it would be like if KD and Russ like played a year together.
But you know, Kyrie on a 1-year deal, and it's uncertain whether
he might go crazy. He might go crazy,
and he might just play every game because Kyrie actually has no leverage. Like, if he doesn't play well this season, who's gonna give him more than like a year of commitment going forward?
Literally.
Yeah,
so he's got to go off.
The Nets actually have Kyrie where they want him, so we'll see, man. But yeah, we'll be there with. I mean, this is a long ass episode now.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that, we out.
Peace.